as is my usual, I was going through looking for Wiccan and pagan news snippets, and I came across this story, which is unfortunately almost 2 months old. But it kind of caught my eye, so I'm going to read it to you guys, and, let me know if you guys already heard this, because I didn't, and I'm really surprised, because usually stuff like this pops right up in the news, Anyway, a woman who claims that she was going to perform a Wiccan celebration of spring is accused of using a ritualistic dagger to kill a man she invited to the ceremony. The victim, Joel Levi, was found with 13 stab wounds. The suspect, Angela Sanford, was found by police at the murder scene in her underwear. Sanford, age 30, appeared in Albuquerque, New Mexico court today and pleaded not guilty. She's being held on $500,000 bond. According to Sanford's statement, she had met Levi, age 52, a few days prior to the attack. She invited him to join her because she was going up to the mountains to celebrate Beltane, the police said. Now, this murder occurred in the middle of March, and as everybody knows, Beltane is actually celebrated at the end of April or the beginning of May. And the article goes on to say that Beltane is a celebration of spring typically observed at the end of April or beginning of May by followers of Wicca. Now, that's the first sign that this woman is not being completely truthful, that she's kind of riding on the coattails of Christensen from a couple months ago. I think that was his name. That he claims that his girlfriend broke a Wiccan blood oath, and so he had to kill her. But as pagans and Wiccans know, there's no such thing. If you follow the Wiccan read, there's no way you could justify using, blood oaths and stuff like that. Anyway, perhaps your coven does go into those kind of things, but I have yet to meet anyone who actually does. Anyway, the story goes on to say that Sanford told police she and Levi met on a hiking trail where they shared beer and tequila. According to her statement, the suspect claimed that Levi had tied her arms, had made inappropriate sexual gestures, and removed the dagger from her jeans. Angela had told him the dagger was to be used as part of her Wiccan ritual, and Angela stated to police that she was fearful that Levi was going to rape her. According to her statement, Sanford said to keep from being raped that she pretended to seduce her victim. After freeing herself from the rope, she allegedly laid Levi onto his back, removed her clothing, and used her dagger to stab him 3 times in the stomach area. However, the autopsy report said that he had actually been stabbed 11 to 13 times in the head and torso. And police do not buy Sanford's story of the attempted rape. Anyway, after the stabbing, she reportedly fled the area and eventually asked a hiker to use a cell phone to call police. A witness, however, told police that he saw Sanford hiding behind some boulders, and when he made eye contact with her, she emerged dressed only in her underwear and advised him that she had just been raped. It is also noted in the report that a runner who assisted Sanford told police that she had noticed Sanford's clothing were neatly folded next to the victim's body. None of the witnesses saw Angela running away from the scene. None of them heard anyone calling out for help. Albuquerque Police Department spokeswoman Natalie Hamby said Sanford's claims to Wicca beliefs have not influenced the investigation. A homicide is a homicide, she told ABC News. She went on to say that the Wiccan community has come out on local media outlets stating that they do no such things like kill anything or anyone. On what police say is Sanford's MySpace page, she speaks about her practice of Wicca, and in a posting last April wrote anonymously. whatever. She wrote, "It's commonly believed that serial killers cannot stop because their compulsion is so strong that they're literally addicted to murder." So, a year before the murder happened, she wrote on her MySpace page that it's commonly believed that serial killers cannot stop because their compulsion to do so is literally an addiction to murder. And a year later, she kills a stranger in the woods. Like, this, I'm sorry, like I said, it caught my attention because this is the second murder this year that the suspect says, "Oh, no, it was a Wiccan ritual. I had to do it." You know, seriously, like, I'm flabbergasted. Like, it's not right to try and hide under the misconceptions of an less than well-known religion or faith. I really do not like to refer to paganism or Wicca as a religion, because to me religion is a dirty word. I associate that with a man-made, you know, hierarchy of, you know, followers. I like the word faith better. But anyway, I digress. I just don't think it's right to hide under the misconceptions of a faith. And I have to applaud the police for actually going beyond the suspect's claims and actually saying to themselves and to the community that, you know, these are misconceptions. We're not buying this story. You know, a murder is a murder. Anyway, the only other story I managed to find, which is a little lighter, a woman in Indianapolis, Indiana, stabbed herself in the foot with a 3-foot-long ceremonial sword. She was performing a luck ritual in a cemetery. The ceremony involves the use of candles and incense, as well as driving swords into the ground during the full moon. She was aiming to put the sword in the ground, but she hit her foot instead. It wasn't the first time that she had performed the ritual, but it was the first time the sword had gone through her foot, she said. She immediately pulled the sword out of her foot, and her companions took her to the local memorial hospital where she was kept a couple days for treatment. No charges are being filed, even though they had been warned that being in the cemetery after visiting hours was considered trespassing. So that's it, folks. That's all I could find for quote-unquote recent Wiccan news. Like I said, that first story is like 2 months old. And I'm really shocked that we hadn't heard more about it. Anyway, if you guys hear any news stories pertaining to our faith, please drop me a line. Thanks.